Well, I'm delighted to follow Harold. I'm honoured to talk about what I think is the only humanitarian sport in the world, but also one of the best. I'm biased, of course, because I'm involved, but having been a chief referee at 5 World Championships and a commentator at all the other championships until 2016, and then I became the ILS event director, I've had a ringside seat at this wonderful sport throughout all that time, and it is truly the best sport that there is. And when you think that all the athletes are super fit lifesavers, lifeguards, who are demonstrating the skills and techniques they need to save a life, you realise how special this is. We are a sport with a purpose, as Harold has said. You have to be fit to save a life. You have to demonstrate the skills you need to save a life. We operate in 3 environments: in the pool, the beach and the ocean. And to be competitive, to take part and save a life. But we are lifesavers first and competitors second. That's the fundamental principle of being involved in our sport. As Harold says, we have Lifesaving World Championships every 2 years. It actually lasts up to 20 days with up to 6,000 athletes. We have 8 different World Championships. We've got national teams for open and youth, club teams, because a lot of our federations are based on clubs making up the federation, clubs of lifesavers. We have masters from 30 plus up to 75 plus, surf boats, and also inshore rescue boats. That's the last one down there. We race everything we can possibly think of, we race. If you look at our national teams championship, well, you need quite a lot of time. We've got 6 men and 6 women maximum, and that's 12 for the team. So they have a lot to do with 43 different events over 4 or 5 days. That's quite a lot of starts per individual. We've got mixed events, 20 events per gender, as I say, and pool, ocean and beach. And yes, that is a big yellow duck from Germany that we were privileged to see when we were in Germany racing the World Championships in 2008. But we've got a lot of different events in those things. And if I look more closely at the pool events, it's a mixture of swimming races or carries or tows using rescue tubes and lines, where the mannequins are heavy when they're filled with water. It's highly technical. There's quite often penalties imposed for technical infringements, so the leading competitor may not be the one that actually hits the timing pads first. But the real problem with it is that the longest event is only 2.5 minutes at the very most. That doesn't fill a session. Just a real quick short video from our friends at the World Games Association. Prepared this video just before the 2017 or after the 2017 Games. So they recognise that we have a unique sport, humanitarian as well as sport. Notice a lot of the action takes place under water, and it's difficult for spectators to see. this unique one-arm stroke to carry backwards. I will move on because this is a lot more of that, but thanks to the World Games Association's video that we often use. So just comparing that then with the ocean events, again we've got a mixture of races, swimming races and races using surfcraft, boards and skis, beach running. Participants need to be able to read the surf. It's all very well being able to swim in it, but you need to know where are the currents, where are the waves coming, where can I take advantage, how can I get out quickest to my victim. They obviously have to be fit and technically proficient as well. It is less technical in terms of the judging of it, and it's really first past the post wins, so it's very easy to spot it. We don't time the events because of the effects of weather and water on a race course. And the longest event is the Ocean Man or Ocean Woman, either as an individual or as a team relay, which lasts up to 20 minutes. And in the Ocean Man, Ocean Woman event, if you run it as an eliminator, as we sometimes do, you can fill an hour and a half very easily in an Olympic program if you needed to. And here's another video taken. This one was in 2014 at the World Championship in France. It's just a short compilation of the events that we do. Craft they're using there, a craft that they can rescue people with. They can put them on and bring them back into shore. So it's demonstrating the skills you need to save a life. You can have it lying down or on your knees, however you want. And these are surf skis. You sit on them rather than in them. They're very fast. You can get out to somebody who's caught in the back of the surf very quickly on the beach in terms of man-made efforts. That's the quickest thing that you can get out to a operation. And this, you might think, what's that all about? But that's actually designed to test speed, skill, the ability to spot something very quickly and go and get it. It's actually one of the most popular events. Beach flags. And there we go, landing back in.
With no wave here.
Again, yeah, no wave here as Harold says, but a lot of the times we have World Championships where we don't have a lot of surf because we have to be able to make sure all the countries can participate fairly. If it's very big surf, a lot of countries may not be able to get through the surf. Okay, let's move this on. So, Harold's mentioned our Olympic aspirations, and that we were first recognised as a sport in 1996, and we've been working recently for the last 5 years, the working group that we got together. But it is a challenge to be included in the Olympic Games, as Harold has said. The two routes to get there, to be included as a core sport, well, the difficulty with that is the 28 core sports that make up the Association of Summer Olympic International Federations don't really want to let anybody else into their little party. It's very difficult to get in through that route unless you've got a very compelling case. The other route, which has become more evident now, and if you notice at the Tokyo Olympics in 2021, that was from 2020, is to get through the host city program for each Olympiad. But you're not as a core sport, so it's a one-off thing that you may get retained for the future. Each has its advantages and disadvantages. The advantages of the core sport is once you're in, you're in. You only get removed if you don't govern yourself properly, or you change your events, or you've got a bad anti-doping record, as is happening to boxing, modern pentathlon and weightlifting respectively, who could be replaced in 2028 by other sports. But in the non-core sports, the difficulty is you get into one Olympics and not in the next one. So in Tokyo, there were 5 sports introduced: surfing, skateboarding, sport climbing, and karate, and baseball or softball. And in Paris, the skateboarding, surfing, and sport climbing have been retained, but karate and baseball haven't. They've decided to introduce breakdancing instead. So you could be in one Olympics and then out. But certainly those 3 sports seem to have got the march on the others, and may very well be retained beyond and could become the core sports to replace the other ones. So it's the non-core sport route that we feel we need to take. The sports programme is decided for the Olympiad at least 4 years in advance. 2018 was too soon for us to consider getting into Paris 24. We hadn't got an event sorted out. We really needed to get our act together. So then we aimed for Los Angeles 2028, thinking that would be a good idea. But then when they announced Brisbane 2032, well, that has to be the one. It's such an iconic sport on the Gold Coast, and offers our best opportunity for inclusion. And there's the Gold Coast. And the picture on the right is of Kurrawa Surf Lifesaving Club. The beach at Kurrawa is the venue for our next the venue for our next World Championships in 2024.
Just the image down there on the right side, that club, there are 50 clubs like this at the Gold Coast only. And that building is 4 times the size of this building.
They're
one
huge.
life-saving club.
Yeah, that's one life-saving club. That's how big it is. And that's where we're going for the World Championships next year in August and September. But then which events do we put forward? As I said, we've got 43 events in our national teams championships. It's impossible to include them all. There will be a limit on the number of participants if we can get into the games, maybe up to 80, 40 of each gender. I mean, one thing about our sport, we're gender equal, not only in participants, but in race distances as well. The men and the women race the exact same distances and same numbers. We need to focus on 1 or 2 events at most, and as I say, be gender equal. And the inclusion of mixed events, which we have got, could help us, because the IOC's been doing this with triathlon and swimming at least. They may be doing athletics as well, and certainly in Winter Olympics as well. They've been doing mixed things. We need to fill a session, and events of 2.5 minutes will not really help us do that. And so we come to the Ocean M. We agreed in November, along with our consultant, who looked at what we did and said, no, you need to do something different. And so we selected the Ocean M individual and the Ocean M mixed relay team events, and the M-shaped course brings competitors back to the beach for a better spectator experience. So we formally created that and tested it at the Lifesaving World Championships in 2018 in Adelaide, and then also, we demonstrated it to the Sport Accord delegates that were out in Kurrawa in 2019. It just happened to be there, so we demonstrated it, and they were very impressed with what they saw. The Ocean M, as I say, it brings the athlete back to the beach, but it tests them in 4 skills: swim, board, ski, and run. They need to be a good stand in all of those events, and that's quite a lot. There's a lot of different disciplines. The order of the legs could be drawn separately, so it could be starting with a swim or starting with a ski or whatever. It could be different every time. They complete a course of around about 1.7 kilometres in the water, and between each of those legs is a connecting run on soft sand of 100 metres, and that takes its toll as well, especially if you've got to sprint towards the end. This is the course for the individual race, and you can see the M-shaped course there, and also the finish arch, which is, I'm not sure how to do that, but anyway, the finish arch is in the middle at the bottom there. That's the start and finish line that they come around each time. And that is the individual course. However, for the team event, it's a slightly different course because we put the run that starts at all. There's a 500-kilometre run for one of the team members to do.
500 meters.
500, yeah, not 500 kilometres, 500 metres, thank you, Carol. 500 metre run at the start, and then they go into the 3 water legs. And what I'm going to show you now to finish this is just a presentation. It's the Ocean M event that we did in the mixed relay Ocean M final in the World Championships in Riccione.
The M-shaped course is spectacular, with each leg representing skills needed to save somebody's life. The Ocean M competition is very unique and sporting entertainment at its best. The Ocean M competition is conducted every 2 years at our Lifesaving World Championships with more than 50 countries and 5,000 lifesavers competing. The mixed relay final of Ocean M at the World Championship had 20 countries competing from the 5 Olympic regions.
And there they go, that's the start on the long run down the beach.
The event has 4 legs: run, swim, paddleboard, and ski, originally created to hone our skills to rescue someone. When you're on the beach and you see someone who needs rescuing, you're either swimming or paddling a craft of some sort as fast as you can to save someone's life.
And then we have the first changeover. It's the swim leg. That's being done by the women. The run is done by the men.
Ocean M showcases the breadth of athletic ability linked to the skills to save a life. Ocean M is the ultimate test, the ultimate challenge. Fitness, skills, strength, and mental toughness are all tested to their limits.
It's more spectacular when you have waves.
Yes, it is more spectacular with waves, as Harold points out, but this was the Mediterranean. We didn't have much surf there. But that's going around the M-shaped part. Now they're out again to the last turn.
The sport is not just about beating each other. It has a strong core purpose: to save someone, and that's pretty special.
The swimmer comes in, hand over to the man who's going to paddle the next leg, which is the board. The event lasts 20 minutes, so we've cut it down.
The life-saving sport was first seen at the 1900 Paris Olympics, with the 200-meter obstacle race on the River Seine. From there, the sport developed and was displayed at the 1956 Melbourne Olympics.
And so the board paddler comes in and will hand over to the final competitor, which is the ski paddler. So it's a woman ski paddler on this occasion.
The first Ocean M competition, then known as Ironman, was developed during the mid-1960s and was included in the first World Lifesaving Championships that were held in 1971.
When you see the ski paddlers, they just get on and paddle. There's no messing around. It's very slick. And there's, in third place, you've got the USA and France very close, but this will develop. You watch what happens.
Our humanitarian movement is worldwide, with over 130 member countries participating and has a sum 30 million members. We are building a global platform to reduce drowning in particularly low and middle income countries. And life-saving sport gives our members the opportunity to hone their skills to be rescue ready.
And now you see there's a three-way battle going on here. Somebody from Britain's joined the fight, and this gets very close towards the end.
The beauty of Ocean M is that the event can be conducted in any open water location, in any conditions, and its unique M-shaped course brings the athletes close up to the spectators on each leg.
Australia were easy winners on this occasion. New Zealand was second, but this battle for third for the bronze medal, look, they don't give up. They're really going for it. It's between
As you
Britain.
will see, the conclusion of this event for the last medal spot developed into a very close race that really shows off the athlete's strength and skills.
To be able to run along the beach after you've done all that. And in this case, USA held on with Britain, and then France, a very close
Being
race.
part of the Summer Olympics will provide the opportunity for our lifesavers to shine and display the incredible skills of these true heroes, true humanitarian warriors.
Okay, so that is the end of it. I'd just like to thank you for the opportunity to participate and to present our sport and what we want to put to the Olympics. It's a long fight. We have quite a way to go, but we've got a good chance, we think.